Hey guys, Marcus here. Another month has flown by. Welcome to November 2023. In this video, we're going to look back at October 2023, compare it to October 2022, 21, 20, and then look at a year-over-year comparison over those years as well, here specifically in Orange County, and then drill down a little bit more into Laguna Beach. So with that, let's get going. All right. October, typically this time of year, we'll see some seasonal impacts to our overall market, but this year it's a little bit different. We've had this combination of inventory levels along with rising interest rates. Now we've got global uncertainty that's thrown into the picture as well. And coincidentally, it's all happening right at the time where we typically experience some seasonal slowdowns anyway. So what does it all mean? We're not quite sure yet, but we're going to look at the numbers and see if we can make sense of this. So the first thing I want to talk about is active inventory. And today's active inventory here in Orange County sits at about 2,400 homes. Last year, this time of year, that number was about 3,600 homes. So we're about 53% off of where we were last year at this time. When I talk about active inventory specifically here in Laguna Beach, today's active inventory sits at about 132 homes. Last month, let's say end of September, that number was also right around 128 homes. But when I look over year over year, over the past 4 years, let's call it from prior to COVID, we go into 2020, our active inventory level sat at 127 homes this time of year because we had 6 months of COVID reducing our inventory levels. Then we go into 2021, that number reduces even further down to 95 homes. And then 2022, we're at 103 active inventory this time of year in Laguna Beach. So that number has increased steadily over the past 12 months, but very incrementally. Just to give you an idea, prior to COVID, these numbers, the rolling 3 years prior, active inventory levels in Laguna Beach, 235 homes, 227 homes, and 222 homes. So a lot more choices for buyers to have before they purchase a home. All right, now let's talk about demand and how interest rate volatility is impacting what we're experiencing in the market. All right, so overall demand here in Orange County has decreased significantly over the past several months. And the biggest factor contributing to this, I believe, has to do with the interest rates. And, I was looking at something just the other day, and when the interest rates went from 7% and now exceed 8%, that pretty much wiped out 5 million potential buyers from our marketplace. That's a huge number. When I look at specifically the higher end, the luxury demand numbers, those priced over 2 million, we're starting to see differences there. And the difference there is demand is actually increasing in those price points. And I think the reason behind that is the fact that, as you get up to 2, 3, 4, 5 million, those people aren't as impacted by the fluctuations in the interest rates. And that's what I think is affecting those buyers, those below 2 million, more than what we're seeing in that luxury end. So when I look back specifically at Laguna Beach demand over the past several years, the COVID years, let's call it, we go into 2020. This time of the year, we had from March until the end of October, we had sold 356 homes in Laguna at that time. The next year, same time period, January to the end of October, we sold 486 homes. And same period last year, again, January 1 to October 31st, we sold 294 homes. And this year, we sold 217 homes during that same time period. Now, that number has tapered off the past couple of years, but again, when you look at the average sale prices of the homes that have sold, the numbers have increased significantly over the years, meaning the lower priced homes aren't selling as quickly as, say, the higher priced sales. And that requires a little bit more explanation to really understand what I'm saying there. But hopefully you get the point of what I'm trying to say. I think what's happening with the demand for higher priced homes is the fact that those people aren't as impacted by the interest rate fluctuations as those people who are, say, priced below 2.5, 3 million. They are more impacted by interest rate fluctuation. Typically they're in a different cash position, so they're able to put more cash down. They don't have to go through the loan qualification process. Most in that position are, in that situation are able to do that. I think what we're experiencing in today's market specifically is this idea that, hey, maybe we're still in the COVID times where the prices were still, a little bit out of whack and little not consistent with what the previous years had done. So I think there are some people, some sellers who are in a position to say, shoot, I wish I had sold my home a year ago. Can I still jump on that wagon and still ride the COVID wave and get your pricing. And those days, honestly, are over. You can't just arbitrarily pick a price, put it up there and wait for your offers to come in. I think you have to be very systematic with arriving at a price. You have to be very intelligent with preparing the home for market. Again, the days of just putting it on the market, arbitrarily picking a price are over. And quite honestly, it's bit me in the butt before myself. We had a listing that we thought would sell. We didn't do what we thought we should do or what it deserved. And now we're catching up with the market trying to sell it. And shame on us for not being in front of it enough to be able to anticipate the intelligence of the market. But it's been a fantastic lesson to me that the market is way more intelligent, way more than they have the prior 3 or 4 years. It's been a bit of a frenzy, and that frenzy's over. So pricing today is more key than it's ever been, and you have to have substantial data to help support your prices. You can't just arbitrarily come up with a number and expect to have multiple offers. Now, on the other side for buyers today, again, talking about those sellers, there are still some of those sellers who are out there hanging on to the prices from 2022, 2021, and they're not going to get it. So some of those buyers, or some of those sellers, I should say, are getting uncomfortable. And there are a lot of sellers, I believe, in this market who are more motivated to sell than they lead you to believe. So for me, if I'm a buyer, now is a great opportunity to, I don't want to say just lowball or send out random offers, but I do think there's an opportunity to negotiate a very fair transaction today, a typical transaction where you actually get requests for repairs honored, you get things done that you haven't been able to ask for in the past 3 or 4 years. So I think from a buyer standpoint, the market's turned a little bit more in your favor. Granted, it's not a complete buyer's market, but you have some opportunity to get some things in this market that you hadn't before. Challenge is finding the actual home to buy, because that today is still our number one problem, finding the inventory. So with that, one last thing I'll just tell you is more important than ever to have an agent that is very well connected within the community, to have those relationships with people who know people who know people, that if you have a buyer, you might be able to connect somebody off market and put a deal together. And we're seeing way more of those than we've seen in a long time. So to me, that's my best advice, not just because I'm one of them, but because I do think it's your best opportunity to find a home. And that's network with a local agent who really knows the market that you're looking to buy a home in. All right, so that concludes our wrap-up video for October 2023. Hopefully you can make some sense out of that. Please like or subscribe to this from wherever you are. So if we can help, be a resource, offer any guidance, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to help.